Today on Vox, we'll have information on the Genoa Bridge collapse and more. Lane Webb will have your local weather, Jay Standridge will have your sports, and Brett's picks will be with Brett Whitehead.
It's Thursday, August 16th, 2018, and you're watching Vox News Today.
Please stand for the pledge of the flag.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good afternoon and welcome back. I'm Mary Beth Mangrum.
And I'm Taylor Lawson.
There is a serious shortage of O-negative blood, and the nonprofit Regional Blood Center Blood Assurance is looking to the Cleveland community for help. Donors with O-negative blood are urged to make donations as soon as possible. Blood donations contain red blood cells that can save up to 3 lives. Many people who have undergone surgery, are suffering from cancer, or have conditions such as sickle cell disease rely on these donations for survival. To be eligible to donate blood, you must be at least 18 years of age or 16 with parental consent. You must also weigh at least 110 pounds and be in good health. If you are interested in scheduling an appointment to donate, you can visit www.bloodassurance.org or call 800-962-0628 or text BAGIVE to 444-999.
The Environmental Working Group Children Health Initiative reports a weed-killing chemical possibly linked to cancer found in 43 samples of products containing grown oats, including some children's products. 75% of products were also tested positive for higher levels of glyphosate than what is considered safe for children's health. Glyphosate is an herbicide found in Roundup, which has recently come to the public eye after a $289 million verdict favoring a man who says he was diagnosed with cancer from the weed killer. EWG tested many oat-based foods for the study and eventually released a list of contaminated foods, including Quaker Old-Fashioned Oats, Quaker Dinosaur Egg, Brown Sugar Instant Oatmeal, Cheerios, and Quaker Simply Oats Granola.
A newly married couple says that immigration officials tricked them into coming into an interview so they could arrest the wife. CNN's Bill Rapley has the story.
Lillian Calderon and her husband Luis Gordillo sat down today for their first interview since these documents were submitted to federal court. They show that immigration enforcement agents were asking for citizenship officials to schedule interviews allowing agents to arrest undocumented immigrants.
Pretty much you're being set up. That's the way I feel.
Couples come to Citizenship and Immigration Services to verify their marriages when an American is married to a foreigner when they're trying to become a citizen. But it's where agents arrested Lillian in January.
Now that I look back and I see our interview, it makes sense. My interview wasn't even 5 minutes long. They didn't even ask me, are you married to Luis Gordillo? Do you have kids? Are you a legitimate marriage? No.
When we decided to do it, we follow the law, we follow the guidelines, the policies that were there. So I don't think we ever did anything wrong. You know, we just followed the steps that we were given. And this is what happened. I feel like we were set up. Not only us, but other families going through the same process.
She spent 3 weeks in jail. She's still working to become legal, but has taken the choice to be a spokesperson.
Because we don't know what's going to happen. We don't know if everything's going to be okay for myself, for DACA recipients, for the families that are being separated at the border. We don't know what the outcome's going to be. So we have to do our best to educate other people, to shed light on this.
In international news, a car has crashed outside UK Parliament, harming several people. The vehicle swerved into pedestrians and cyclists on August 14th, and approximately 3 people suffered from injuries. 2 people were taken to the hospital but were discharged. The suspect is a 29-year-old man, and he has been arrested on suspicion of terrorism. No one else was in the vehicle, and no weapons were found. The suspect is yet to be identified and is being held at a South London police station.
As Genoa citizens come to terms with the collapse of the bridge this week, the government accuses the highway operator of speaking too much on their financial interests rather than the loss of 39 people because of the tragedy. The Italian government lashed out at Atlantia, the holding company of the Benetton fashion family that owns the highway operator Autostrade per l'Italia. They are planning to revoke the concession to run at least half the nation's toll highways following the bridge collapse.
Now let's send it over to Lane with your weather report.
We'll have your 7-day forecast after this break. Now let's take a look at that 7-day forecast. For Thursday and Friday, it will be partly cloudy with 20% chances of rain, and Friday will be really hard. They'll have 80% chances of rain, and highs of low 90s and high 80s and lows of high 60s and low 70s. Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday will all have 60% chances of rain with highs in the low 80s and lows in the high 90s. And Wednesday will be partly cloudy with a 20% chance of rain and high of the low 80s and the low of the low 60s. Now let's send it over to Jace with your sports.
When we come back, we'll have Brett's picks.
You can be the greatest, you can be the best, you can be the King Kong banging on your chest. You can beat the world, you can beat the war, you could touch a God, go banging on his door. You can throw your hands up, you can beat the clock, you can move a mountain, you can break rocks, you can be a master, don't wait for luck. Dedicate yourself and you can find yourself. Stand in the Hall of Fame. And the world's gonna know your name.
Welcome back, and here is Brett Whitehead with Brett's picks.
Hello and welcome to the inaugural episode of Brett's Picks this fine 2018 fall season of football. I'm Coach Shroyer. This is Brett Whitehead. How you doing, Brett?
Good.
Brett's been here with me. Is this like 11, 12, 50 years? I mean, it's been a long time. Glad you're here. Let's jump into it. Let's talk about some football. Look at this. Upcoming NCAA football, we want to talk about Coach Jeremy Pruitt, head coach of the Tennessee Volunteers, trying to turn things around. What do you know about Jeremy Pruitt?
He's a new coach.
He's the new head coach. He's brought in a lot of people that have already made a huge impact. One of the things that I will note is strength and conditioning. Injuries seem to be less going into the season, which is a really good thing. We still have a couple weeks before they play their first game, and there's just a lot of excitement brewing up there. Now, the games that will begin the season will start next week on Saturday, not this week, the 25th. And you have Duquesne, UMass, Prairie View at Rice, Hawaii at Colorado State, Wyoming at New Mexico. Probably the only game out of that I really want to watch is the Wyoming at New Mexico. My parents are from Wyoming, and we used to cover a lot of Wyoming games over the years, but we really wanted to get into that true D1, football, and this is kind of the taste of it right here. Hawaii at Colorado State, that ought to be a great game. And anyway, just letting you know, we're kind of
New Mexico.
We're kind of like in the preseason element of getting ready. They're still scrimmaging on campuses. And let's talk about some high school football.
Starting
tonight, big game. Oak Ridge, where are they at?
Oak Ridge is traveling to Hardin Valley.
Hardin Valley, 7:30.
That game is at 7:30.
And one that we definitely wanted to understand what's going on. Walker Valley is facing Chattanooga Central at Finley Stadium tonight.
Yes. We had our Jamboree game.
Had the Jamboree at Finley. Yeah, and Chattanooga Central has been doing some phenomenal things. Of course, Coach Bear, who left Bradley, went there. He's now down at Ridgeland, but Chattanooga Central's doing some great things. What about Walker Valley?
They have still the same coach at Walker Valley.
Same coach. They have several players. They lost a really good receiver that went on to college.
Play at UTC.
Play at UTC. So tonight, those are our games. Hey, look at that ring up in the top right corner there. You got one of those?
Yes.
Yeah. Brett's picks.
And don't
back in.
And don't forget, we play tomorrow night.
Tomorrow night, starting back in for Bradley Central, and that is going to be a phenomenal matchup.
Up at Farragut.
Up at Farragut.
7:30.
Jace will have more information, bringing you, interesting facts about what's going on up there. We've played up there several times, and they've played down here several times. It's kind of a great way to kick in the season. We'll see how well we are tested and playing.
And don't forget to listen to Mix 104.1.
Mix 104.1.
The very own Gary Owen B. and Coach
Rowan.
He used to be the teacher here.
That's right. That's right. And we see Gary around here all the time. Then, of course, highlighting next week, we'll have our first home game.
Yeah.
Who do we play?
Walker Valley.
Playing Walker Valley.
Right
so
behind.
we definitely want to see how they're doing against Central tonight.
There's the field right behind us.
That's right. Right here, looking at the big
Behind
campus
us.
stadium right there. Hope you
Behind
enjoy
us.
that shot. I'd like to thank Coach Freeman for that. So that's all I have.
Yes.
You have anything else?
The
I know we're
Braves-
just excited
Braves
about
won-
getting into it.
Braves won their
keep
game
winning.
The Braves
So,
won their game last night, 5-2.
until next week,
I'm Brett Whitehead
I'm Coach Shroyer, and we'll see you
on the sideline.
Welcome back, and here's a look from MLB last night. The Braves went into the game 8-1 at home in the past 9 games, and Ronald Acuna Jr. was intentionally hit with the first pitch of the game. The bench is cleared, and Acuna was taken out. The Braves go on to win the game 5-2. The Giants faced the Dodgers in the series finale. The score was tied in the 9th inning, and they went to extras. In the bottom of the 12th inning, Brian Dozier hit a sacrifice fly walk-off to end the game 4-3. The Toronto Blue Jays traveled south to take on the Royals. All of a sudden, Curtis Granderson hit a grand slam to put the Blue Jays on top 5-2. The Blue Jays went on to win the game 6-5. That's all from me. After this break, we'll have a look at your school announcements.
All right, Bradley Central, let's take a look at our school announcements. If you're involved with FCA, you should know that FCA leadership applications are available in the main office. Once you fill those out, you can turn them in at H11A. These applications need to be turned in by 3 p.m. this Friday.
We are online at YouTube at BCHS VOX News.
You can also check us out on Facebook, SchoolTube, and of course at voxnews.net.
You just can't get enough Vox.
That's all we have for you today, Bradley Central.
And as always,
God bless and go Bears.